So this video is on replacing my Nutone with a smart doorbell camera that I got that's actually going to be a Ring doorbell. And so I'm going to fast forward a little bit through this and show you what I'm doing. I've seen several videos online that says you can't do it, and then some good people came back and showed that you could do it with some modifications. So I went ahead and took off the two wires to the speaker, which were the red and green wires that I have capped. I'm going to try to put power on those and charge the Ring Doorbell 2, which has a battery pack in it. And then the yellow and black wires are going to the Chime and the Nutone master station. And I'm going to put a relay in between the Ring doorbell and to these wires so that it just closes the loop and does not send power to the Chime doorbell, which is what it's doing when you push the button on the Nutone station here. So hang with me for a second. I'll show you what I'm going to do. Hello viewers, I just wanted to give you some perspective on my particular project of trying to get a smart doorbell working with a Nutone system. And the unique challenges there are, as you're doing these doorbells, you'll probably realize the differences it explains between a mechanical doorbell ring and a chime. And the Nutone systems have a really unique perspective that takes you to another level. And at the front door where they have, right now I have a little speaker and a button that activates the system's chime and the master station there on the Nutone. It's a little unique than just a normal chime, I guess. And for more in-depth explanation, there's a company that services the Nutone systems called Northside Service Company, and they have a wealth of YouTube videos. The guy's very detailed and in-depth with what he explains. And the very first one I saw said why you can't install a Ring doorbell in the Nutone intercom. So I was going, oh heck, man, I'm not going to be able to do this. And since there's no real power going to the front door here at that station, I went ahead and went the direction to get a Ring Doorbell 2, which has a rechargeable battery supply in it. And but I started doing some more research online and saw a video where a gentleman did put a Ring doorbell into a Nutone system, and he used a relay to do it. And since that, as you see this where you can't do it, YouTube video was like 2 years ago. The gentleman with Northside came back and did one where connecting a Nest Hello doorbell, and he actually connected it to the Nutone system, and he utilized the relay like the other gentleman that I saw did, and the Nest has a little module that goes in between the doorbell and and a chime. So he utilized that as well in his little diagram. Well, what I'm going to be doing is connecting the Ring Doorbell 2 to a Nutone system, and I'm using the relay right at the front door space. And then I'm also going to try to power from the station, the Nutone master station. There's a 16-volt AC adapter in there, so I'm going to try to use that power and bring it out to the front door utilizing the speaker wires that are already there. So that's what I'll go into in my video, but I did want to let you know there's a wealth of information if you have a Nutone system. I mean, there's some good videos that this guy puts out that kind of gives you a good explanation. And I recommend looking at the one that says connect a Nest Hello. But I think you'll see that you can do the Ring as well in a similar format. But that's it. Just a quick update before I go through what my install looks like. And hopefully all this is helpful. Thank you. So, hey, back again. So here's the relay I ordered online. And you'll see the pins here on the left side are a little bit closer together. And then on the relay, you'll see the pins that are closer together are on the switch side, and the ones that are further together are on the coil side. So I meant to say further apart. What we'll do is we'll come in to these two pins. I've seen another video online that describes the layout on this. So we'll come in from the Ring doorbell to these two, and then connect here one wire of the black and green, and then actually one black on the other and yellow side that will be running to the Chime, so that when power comes on the Ring doorbell, it'll make that relay connection and closed circuit send the signal to the Chime that it needs to ring through the Nutone system. So with that, we'll walk over and show you what I'm trying to do here with the Nutone. Is there's wires red and green coming in that you'll see right here, I think, somewhere, going down to the Chime. And so that will, stay and ring the Chime. And then up here at the very top, and there is hot wires. And there's actually two red and two green, so I had to determine, I'll have to determine which is from the front. Whoops, that camera's nuts. There we go. And then pull one off of each. And I'm gonna try to use, since those are already there and running to the front door, I'm gonna try to use those and connect them to the power supply, which I've read that this power supply is not enough, but since I have the batteries in there, I would think it would be the same as a trickle charge, but I'm not an electrician, so I'm really not sure. But there's a power supply down in there that may not be adequate. If it's not, then I can always change the power supply out, but I'm gonna give it a try, since I don't think it needs a lot to trickle charge the battery a little bit. But then again, I'm not an electrician, so I may be way off there, but we'll find out once I get it done. So Nutone / Ring Video Doorbell 2 installation continued. What I did was I kind of opened this up and slid it out a little bit so I could get the power supply, and I lifted it out of the location that it was in, and I've attached to the red side the little, let me come over here, the little adapters that came with the Ring Doorbell 2, kind of little extensions. And so what I did was I attached it, you can see it's coming up right there on the right side. And then now I've got to attach the one I just showed you to the white side. So the power supply connection will be pulling the red and green wires off. And then since there's two sets, I determined from the ringtone thing, Chime, there's like three little inputs there, one for the front door, one for the back, one for the, I think, another location. Well, mine would be garage, but there's only two connections there. And so what I'm gonna do is use those two wires that were going out to the speakers and power, connect them to the power adapter. And then at the front door, I'll have the power coming in, which I can connect to the Ring 2 doorbell, hopefully. And this power supply, I'm not really sure what it is, how much power is going out there, maybe 15 volts or something. What does it say? 6 volt, 16 volt? 16 volt, yeah, okay. So that might be too little, but we'll give it a try and see if it actually charges the battery pack at all. It may be a moot point, or I might have to switch out to a 24 volt power supply if that doesn't work, you know, just so I won't have to change the batteries as often. And then we'll show you the relay and everything once I get that hooked up. But anyway, that's what I'm doing here with the Nutone. And once I get the power lines hooked up, I'll close all this up, and then I'm still leaving the power off for now until I get all the components for the front door. I've still got some on order. So I've got the wires off the door speakers, and since there was 2 on each, I was able to determine that the ones I want are the ones going to the front door are determined by the chime, and the little yellow wire going down there to the right one is the front door chime. So this yellow and green will go to the power supply. Red and green. The 2 wires that I put onto the power supply right there. Boom, those 2 black wires, I'll just tie them off with a cap, and then I'll put the rear door speaker wires back on. And then where the speaker wires were on the front door, that'll be my power source now. And hope that makes sense. And we'll show you how I'm putting the relay together once I get that installed. Okay, just to finish this up, I put the power supply back into the slot there. You can see those 2 yellow caps. That's the the new wires coming from the power supply that were provided by Ring, those little black wires. And I just hooked them into the power supply terminals, and then I took the red and the green leads and connected them into those little ties. And those were the speaker wires to the front door. So since I'm going to remove that altogether, I don't need the speaker wires, and now I have a power run out there. See if that works. And then I just put I guess it's the back door red and green wires back onto the speaker terminals where all 4 wires were before. And then the black and yellow lead that was attached to the button on the Nutone that just closes the circuit there to let it know that it needs to ring the chimes. Those are still intact and are going to what I think is the front door volt. So that's why I determined those red and green wires were the ones that were going to the front door. I hope that's right. I'm going to close this back up and leave the power off on it until I get the new Ring doorbell installed in the front. All right, let's close this up, and then the next video will be about the installation around the front door. So I wanted to make sure you, before all this started, that you knew that we turned off the 21A, which is the Nutone. Here's 21. A and B is off actually, so I wanted to let you know we did that prior to doing any work on the Nutone. Hey, just a quick update here, folks. We showed on the earlier video when I was talking about the relay, I actually had a 120 volt AC relay, and I realized that it was not the correct one, and I ordered a 24 volt. So I had hooked it up, waiting on the plate, the Nutone plate, that replacement plate that I'm going to use to mount the Ring Doorbell 2 on, and at any rate, it didn't work, and I believe it's because we didn't have the right AC relay. I don't know how I got confused online, but at any rate, we now have a 24 volt. I'll give that a try, and then we'll do the install once I get that mounting plate. All right, thanks. Talk to you soon. Hey viewers, just a quick update. So I got the right relay in, and I'm just testing it at the front door. And so if you remember, I converted the speaker wires that were out here on the Nutone, which was the red and green on the speakers. I put that on the power supply, so now the red and green's hot. And I've got that going into the Ring doorbell, and then back down to the relay. See the red going in there, and then the green coming back and going back to the Nutone system. And then the yellow and black were the doorbell button. And so now when I push the Ring doorbell, it rings here, but it also sets off the chime for the Nutone. So all of that is running. Now the only last thing I need is the faceplate that's the same size as the Nutone, and I'll mount it to that, and then we'll show you the finished product. Well, it seems to be working the way I wanted to. Just one quick note, I thought I might need a diode on the back. They have a little diode that runs between the terminals in the back. I had that on there, and it was making the relay go crazy. So I took it off, and then it worked. And then I am going to check, because since we're on battery on this Nutone, got a battery pack. I think now I do have current coming to it, so I'll see if that keeps the battery charged and report back to you on the final installation. But anyway, that's the update. I'll finish it up here when I get the plate and get it all mounted. Hey viewers, I noticed as reading through the manual here, and noticed some other stuff online regarding the fact that if I'm using an existing chime and or a transformer, I need to put in line a resistor. So it gives the specs of the resistor and the Ring doorbell manual. And what I did was I went ahead and ordered this online. They have some for like $5.99 or $6.99. This one was actually a little bit more, but it has these little wire connections that are going to make it a lot easier versus having to solder. So I went ahead and paid $9.99 on Amazon for this version of the resistor, and I'm going to go ahead and open up the Nutone system again and connect that in the in line with the power supply there. And it has a good diagram here of where you need to put it, and what it's saying in the Ring doorbell information is that it should be a 25 ohm, 50 watt resistor. I've seen some other stuff out there that's, basically states that it could be less, because this is just a 16 volt AC power supply that I'm connecting to. But anyway, this resistor that I got is 25 ohm, 50 watt. So it kind of shows you the diagram of how to do it. Relative to the back of the Ring doorbell. So I'm going to again open up the and I guess it's for potential fire hazard. So I definitely want to go ahead and finish this up and do that. So I'll be in compliance. I'm not really sure why the resistor needs to be used, but let's do it to be safe, since it's saying that you should do it. All right. That's it. That's the update. I'll do that. And finishing up the door plate. I'll show you a video of that, and then it'll be a wrap. All right. So folks, here's the finished product. What I did was I mounted it on that replacement plate with the holes in it. Ran the wires that were formerly the speaker wires that are now connected to the 16 volt power supply on the Nutone system. And we'll see if that charges the battery or not. But right now, I also use the little angle, since it's so close to the wall over here, I got the little angle thing going on. But we ring the doorbell now. It works out here, and it should also, yep, set off the Nutone chime. So we're all good to go. I have that resistor on, and it's finished. So text me if you have any questions. I'll be glad to walk you through what I did, and hope you guys have a nice holiday. We're approaching the holidays here, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.